Okay, a video on setting ailerons and the problem I had. Right, look at this servo here. That servo is the opposite way to that one. In other words, it's completely the opposite. Now the reason for that, there's a good reason, is I had 60 on my Subtrim on my DX9. If you look, the servo, travel, Subtrim. If you look at the Subtrims, I've got 0 and 5 on Ailerons. And the reason for that, I had, so if I just scroll down to that, I had 49. So it was that far out, my aileron. And no matter where I placed that arm, I couldn't get it. I was either 49 out one way or 49, 50 out the other. So the only way I could get it was turn the servo around. So the arm would be at 0. And that's why I made this video, just to, if anybody else is having the same problem, just rewind that back. Get back to 0. Plus, save a little bit of weight, because I've got a smaller, shorter arm. Plus, I like the fact that the wind is hitting this rather than a square edge. It's only a small thing. Now this one, I probably won't turn round, because that is centred quite nicely. It's only at 5, so I think if I turn that round it'd make it worse. So maybe the best thing to do is when you buy your servos and you get all your 4 servos, is to put the heads on them, put all your sub-trims at 0 and check the position of the heads, the servo arms, and then weed out the ones what are miles out, and that's what I should have done in retrospect, but that's worked even though the arm's shorter. I don't think there's any detriment to it being that way around. I noticed most people online put them the other way around, put them like this one. Now if there's a reason for that, somebody may comment, but I can't see why that's... I only have 38 up if it's 37 down anyway, that's all I ever do. But I also, and the other reason I did it is, let me just turn it over. The other reason I did it is, I had, my goodness, it's a big plane when you try and turn them over. Right, the other reason is I have spoilerons on. I have that on the switch for crankshafts, pop tops. It's nearly lifted plane up at back. Anyway, the reason I did is when I put that up, one was slightly higher than the other, and I thought that's not good. And that's because of that Subtrim being out. I want it now, they're even. What's good about these is they still work even when you've got full up air or down air, or you know, they still act as air. You can leave them on. And I think is don't leave them on take off. I've also put some new gimbals, some M9s, which have been a heck of a job on the DX9, but what it is on the M9s, they have a shorter throw on the throttle for people who pinch, because you not as much movement. but because I bought two and I didn't want to have shorter throw on here, I've lowered the centre slightly, so I've still got my 60 degrees on here. As you can see, it's slightly more than this side, so I've got two good gimbals and still got my 60 on here and slightly less on throw on elevator on throttle on here. But my god, they weren't easy to fit. The little magnets, because they're Hall sensors, needed adjusting quite a few times to get the zero on throttle, on elevator when it were at centre. But I got it. It took a bit of perseverance, and calibration was essential. But apart from that, they feel absolutely brilliant. We've got a good spring reaction, as you can see. You know, they really are sensitive. Yeah. Really like these. So that feels like I've got a new transmitter now, even though it's a piece of old crap. That's it. So I've got to sort the timing out on the motor yet. So I'm going to do some trials on the motor. If anybody's wondering how I've got a green spinner and green landing gear, I've covered them. Covered the spinner, which isn't the best, but I preferred it than chrome, and I've covered the landing gear. Yeah, that's it. Just turn it off.